What's up everybody and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. As you know, I had a lot of fun this weekend with the kaiju rumble that was Godzilla King of the Monsters, but I think it's also time to change the pace a little bit and talk about something a little bit more substantial and a little bit more somber in tone. By now, especially in this politically charged climate, I think you're either aware or know a little bit about the infamous Central Park 5, but oftentimes our understanding of this case doesn't go beyond the headlines. Thankfully, the multi-talented Ava DuVernay has endeavored to go a little bit deeper to give us a better understanding of what actually happened in this case. So this is my official review of the Netflix limited series, When They See Us. Let's take a closer look. You know, I look back on the year 1989, I must have been 14 or 15 at the time, very similar in age to these young boys, and I think of the pivotal event that changed the course of my life, but nowhere near in scale or level of devastation of these 5 young men that were falsely accused of raping a jogger in Central Park. And look, I don't want to crap on the victim here, but we do have to deal with the reality of the social construct that we have designed. Somehow we've convinced ourselves that a white, affluent, single female jogging in the park who's allegedly assaulted by people of color is somehow more important or a higher priority in terms of a crime than any other. And that's really at the heart of this unfortunate and tragic miscarriage of justice. Now, I don't know if this was just coincidence or if it's art imitating life or vice versa, but Felicity Hoffman is in this miniseries, and she is the physical manifestation of this construct that we have seemingly convinced ourselves is perfectly normal. Now, to Hoffman's credit, she is superb in this role of playing a corrupt and political investigator. To be honest with you, it's a little too good and a little too convincing. I honestly think she wasn't acting, I think she was just channeling her trying to get her kid into college. And listen, I gotta talk about that because it is in the headlines, and this performance, although it was spectacular, I don't think she was acting, I just have to say that. Given her recent legal troubles and her allocution, this performance is mind-blowing to watch, it's very surreal. Overall though, I have to say the strength of this miniseries is the incredible ensemble cast. It is amazing to see not only new faces, but some old faces we haven't seen in many years, and they did an excellent job. Now, everybody in this miniseries is fantastic, but without question, the breakout here was definitely Moonlight's Jarrell Jerome. This is an absolutely sublime performance, and it is so heartbreaking to watch. This is incredible. This guy is so talented. I also have to commend the level of authenticity and attention to detail. DuVernay does a wonderful job of recreating 1989 New York. I remember all of these pop culture references going into my pre-teens. Things like the British Knights, the Z Cavariccis, the Air Jordans, the high top fades, even the soundtrack, the emergence of hip-hop and house music. Groups like EPMD and Public Enemy, it's all there and it's all brilliantly recreated. As a reviewer, it's really hard to do a review on a series like this, because you do have to talk about the technical aspects and what makes it really work well, but at the same time, I don't want to belie the substance. You will simultaneously love and hate this series, you will become frustrated, angered, you're going to want to put your fist to the wall at the level of injustice, at a broken criminal justice system that both intentionally and purposely failed these 5 young men. Now, this miniseries is not overtly political. DuVernay chooses instead to focus on the aftermath of the devastation that was the lives of the 5 boys after they were accused, and she really explores their lives in great detail, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. But she does have to address the issue of the former citizen currently residing in the Oval Office and the $85,000 ad campaign that he promoted to bring back the death penalty specifically for these young men. Now, it doesn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, this is a thing that actually happened and it had to be addressed, and I think it's perfectly appropriate. It also, and it just has to be said, segues perfectly into the political climate that was back then in terms of criminal justice and the bridge between our current political discord, and that's one of the most important aspects and why this miniseries is so relevant today. Now, I'm not going to BS you, this subject matter is very heavy, and at times it can be an emotional slog, so if you're not in a good place right now, I wouldn't recommend watching this. However, for all the miasma of lies and the horrible miscarriage of justice, this is a story just as much about hope and determination, and the sheer will to carry on to clear your name, even in the midst of insurmountable odds. I really do hope you take a moment and check this one out, it's streaming on Netflix now. Alright everybody, so that's my official review of the Netflix limited miniseries When They See Us. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.
Struggle. some wonder. I used to have to use my muscle. Gotta be strong, living this life right or wrong. Cause this life that's very real to me is relatable to you. It seemed like such a difficult task, but to me I was just staying true. True to mine and true to you.